This time I'd like to call the, the board meeting before the board meeting to order this afternoon. We're glad to have an old friend with us today, Jonathan Bloomberg. Good seeing you again.
I'm so humbled.
Appreciate all the times and work you put in for us many years ago.
Thank you. Gratitude is completely mutual. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you.
And we're here to discuss the social media litigation.
We have somebody make the motion.
Okay, I'm sorry. Everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I need a motion to go into closed session.
And we'll approve the agenda.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I have, before we approve the agenda tonight, I have two amendments I'd like to make to the regular session. 8.4A, which is approval of submit an ECPS CTE grant for 23-24. We're going to strike that from the agenda. And then if you go over to 8.4B, approval of Abbott Center as sole source. There were a couple of incorrect dates put in there. It should be 2023-2024 instead of 24-25. That's 8.4B. So we're keeping it on the agenda, but we're just changing the dates. And that would be my recommendation for approval of the agenda as amended, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Are there any other additions or deletions? Give you a minute to look over the agenda. If not, do we hear a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay, we've had a motion and a second to approve the March 11th agenda. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Agenda is approved. I need a motion to go into closed session.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion under the North Carolina Open Meetings Law, Section 143-318.11A3, to go into closed session to consult with the attorney to preserve attorney-client privileged information.
Okay, hear a second?
Second.
Any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll go into closed session. Call the March 11th Board of Education meeting to order. I know you're looking at a new person, vice chair in charge. Please be in prayer for Dr. Wilson. She was feeling under the weather and went home. And for her to miss a meeting, she is not feeling well. So please let's keep her in your prayers. And we started this meeting at 5:30 today. We had a closed session presentation, so we are actually going to start with the recognitions. And Ms. Hope.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chair, the members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Bryan. I'm excited to introduce our Employee of the Month for March. Mrs. Linda White Edmonds is an EC teacher assistant at Southwest Edgecombe High School. With over 30 years of service at ECTS, her experience and expertise are invaluable. According to Principal Langley, she goes above and beyond by not only fulfilling her teaching responsibilities, but also covering classes for her colleagues when needed for IEP meetings and helping to ensure the needs of all students are met. Her meticulous record-keeping ensures that her students receive the best possible education, and parents and guardians receive up-to-date information on student progress. Additionally, her willingness to drive the bus to ensure students can participate in activities such as swimming at the YMCA demonstrates her unwavering dedication to their well-being. Without her, Southwest Edgecombe High School would not be the same place. Congratulations to Mrs. Linda White Evanson, our March ECPS Employee of the Month. As you all may recall, in January we recognized several ECPS teachers who either earned or retained their National Board certification through the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards. Our teachers from Edgecombe Early College were not able to be with us that evening, so we are pleased they're with us tonight. National Board certification was designed to develop, retain, and recognize accomplished teachers and to generate ongoing improvement nationwide. It is public assurance that teachers have met the profession's highest standards for accomplished practice. It is the most respected professional certification available in K-12 education. Congratulations to Kimberly Long for earning National Board certification and to James Guy for renewing his certification. Thank you.
Mr. Ellis Campbell? All right. Thank you.
Okay, we have no public comments tonight, so we'll move forward to 6, the approval of the open session minutes. I'll give everyone a chance to look over them and see if we have any corrections or deletions that need to be made. Comments or deletions, additions to the February 12th minutes? If not, can I hear a motion to approve?
Mr. Vice Chair, I move that we approve the February 12, 2024 regular business meetings with open session.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the February 12th regular business meetings with a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, the February 12th board meeting minutes are approved. 7.1, Dr. Bryan, school updates.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll start out tonight talking a little bit about the NC Spark Lab. As you know, Southwest Edgecombe High School has a Spark NC Lab esports team. Competed in the Varsity Esports League VESL State Championships recently in Greensboro. We did quite well. We had one student who placed second in the Madden 24 State Championship and received a cash prize of $750. Several students participated in the Fortnite Team Championship and placed 8th overall. Southwest Edgecombe High School Spark NC Lab will host Beta Box Learning on-site STEM field trips on March 12 and 13. Students will build robotic arms and autonomous vehicles. And then, of course, you are invited to the Spark Lab Demo Day, Thursday, March 14th at 1 p.m. at Southwest Edgecombe High School. The event will showcase some of the exciting work happening in our district in the Spark NC Lab. So I'm very excited. Mr. Hayes is here tonight. Congrats to you and all the staff that are involved with that. Just all the hard work that went in putting that together and what benefits we are already seeing for our students. So thank you. Battle of the Books happened March 1st, Friday, March 1st, I should say. And it happened at the community college. All the elementary schools participated. Mark Millennium Academy placed first, Stocks Elementary placed second, and Princeville Elementary placed third. Congratulations to all of them. And I was there during some of that time, and our students were fiercely competing Battle of the Books. So they did a great job. Very proud of them. Thanks to all of our sponsors and the staff who helped. Science Olympiad, Tarboro High School students Cole Macklin and Rome Day attended the Science Olympiad recently and placed first in the geologic mapping and fossils events and second place in ecology. The Tarboro High School two-man team placed third overall in the region. So congrats to them. They did a great job and represented Tarboro High School very well. And ECPS. Art Explosion, ECPS annual celebration of the arts, be held March 25 through 28 in the auditorium at Edgecombe Community College in Tarboro. Art Explosion showcases the creative talents of students throughout the district, and Variety Fest on Monday evening will feature various student performances. Band Fest will be held on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Student artwork is also displayed in the atrium outside the auditorium there. So with a lot of great artists within our school district and celebrate the arts with lots of great performances, so please come out. Yeah. Our next Community Reimagined Town Hall meeting is this Thursday evening, March 14, at 5:30 p.m. at Booker T. Washington Community Center in Rocky Mount. Please come out and feel the great energy with our merger meetings and our great staff and all the work that they do. I won't let out all the secrets to the public, but we saw some really fancy dance moves at the end of the last merger meeting, so you never know what might happen. So, but it's a great meeting, great energy, talking about the merger, and we've had each one, I think, has increased a little bit with the crowd we've gotten, and just excited, looking forward to that. North Carolina Community Foundation Scholarship, a 7th grade student at West Edgecombe Middle School was this year's winner of the Victoryville Junior $20,000 college scholarship from North Carolina Community College Foundation, Inc. She was nominated by school counselor Ms. Ray Henderson. And I tell you, for a 7th grader to win that is just outstanding and a great compliment to her and staff and the support of Edgecombe County Public Schools. Great. Update you on a initiative that we shared with you a couple months back, North Carolina Ed Corps. As you know, that is a training for tutors, research-based. The school site visit was held on March 13 at Coker Wimbley Elementary School. And the 2 tutors there completed the training and worked with students. As of March 8th, 59 student tutoring sessions have been completed. 30 hours of tutoring instruction have been delivered. And if you remember correctly, the students are attending 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes in each session, 3 students per tutor, which is what the research suggests. And the average attendance rate for sessions by students was 90%, which I think is outstanding. So Carver is using instructional systems that they have They're just about finished with their platform training, and they will start tutoring, and they'll keep going here momentarily. So we're very, very excited about that, and we believe the tutoring program has great promise for our school district. Dr. Bauer presented at one of our last meetings in the last couple of months, and I know we want to provide y'all with the update on how that was going to look as we look to expand that for next year. So thank you to everybody who's done that. This past week, had a parent advisory meeting and a teacher advisory meeting for our groups. Talked, and they gave a lot of great feedback about what we're doing as a school district, and we talked a little bit about the budget process, which I'll be scheduling a meeting probably for us between sessions, between our next regular board meeting and between then talk a little bit about the budget. And we're also in the process of starting our second meeting with our student advisory groups at the high schools, which will be happening in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully get all that taken care of and meet with high school students before spring break. So, with that, Mr. Chair, turn it back over to you.
Any questions for Dr. Bryan?
I just have a comment. I talked to a student from Edgecombe who was at the student advisory and was really impressive. Number one, she was invited and loved the idea. So I think our students I think they feel very much part of their destiny, maybe, of this advisor, that we care, we want to know what's going on. I mean, she found me in a grocery store and told me.
Very, very valuable feedback, and very excited to have them part of the conversation. And I have to say, they have been really spot on with their observations. I will share, just so everybody knows, you can be nominated to that group within the high school by the state, or you can self-nominate. So we use that process. So if students want to be a part of that, they can be a part of that, and they've been great. As I've said before, between 115 and 120 students across the district met with so far, and we'll be looking to expand that to the middle schools in the near future. Great feedback. Thank you for your comments.
Any others? Okay, maintenance update, Mr. Perkins.
Good evening. Vice Chair, board member, Dr. Bryan, I'll be giving the maintenance updates. This is talk about new outlets for this roof, new equipment. Old pipes, boom, big electric. We have bad leak out there. We had to change all the pipes in that room, so these are the new pipes. This is carbon new pipe with installation. This is MMA mobile unit bathroom. We had a bad leak in that room, in the bathroom, so we tore some of the floor out. And on this side, you see where we put the new wood in, put new floor tiles, this reset to come over. MMA gym without louvers and fans. This is MMA gym with the louvers and the fans. Louvers and fans. Thank you.
Any questions from Mr. Perkins? Mr. Perkins, as always, thank you for the job that you do, and please tell your maintenance workers we appreciate all they do for us each and every day.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, 7.3, Dr. Bryan, field trip.
An extended day trip, Tarver High School took me over to State University for a college tour. That was approved February 17th between board meetings. You okay if I go on down the list?
Yes, sir.
All those different things. Fundraisers, Southwest Edgecombe High School JRTC fundraiser for Krispy Kreme Donuts. That probably makes everybody a little hungry, but it's here and now. That was a fundraiser. And we also waived the community use of facilities at North Edgecombe High School for students. We also have information about Spark NC High Tech Accelerator Demo Day, which we shared with you already today. Mr. Hayes is here if you have any questions for him about that. And then ECPS has submitted a grant for Long Leaf Fund Grant application process, $150,000 to hopefully would receive to help prep the athletic fields and some of the facilities we have at North Edgecombe High School. Questions or comments?
Okay. If not, we'll move on to 8.1.8, field trips.
In your consent items, you have field trips as presented from various schools, extended day field trips. You also have fundraisers on there. And then the approval set grant fund 8.3A, Forward Welcome Fund Improvement Grant for South Edgecombe Middle School, which is based on STEAM education and lessons.
Okay, any questions on the fundraisers, the grant funds, or the field trips
And
for Dr. Bryan?
Mr. Chair, just as a reminder for anybody who's following along on the agenda, we struck 8.48 from the consent agenda because that grant was not approved or accepted. We did not get the grant.
That's one of the few we ain't got. Any questions? If not, can I hear a motion to approve all of the consent items as presented?
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of all of the consent items as presented.
Second.
Okay, heard a motion and a second to approve the consent items as presented. Are there any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor of the consent items approved, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Consent items are approved. Move on to 8.1.B, items for action. Dr. Bryan.
So a request for approval of community facilities use application for Phillips Brick Alumni Association using Phillips Middle School multipurpose room, May 24th.
Any questions, comments? If not, can I hear a motion?
I make a motion for the approval of the community facilities use application request to waive the fees of the Phillips Briggs Alumni Association using the Phillips Middle School multipurpose room on May 24th from 4 to 9 p.m. for the Phillips High School alumni reunion activities per the community use of facilities policy.
We have a motion and a second to approve the use of the Phillips Middle School during May the 24th from 4 to 9. Are there any other questions or concerns or comments? If not, all in favor, would you say aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. 8.1 is approved. 8.2.B, approval of the resolution between My Future NC and ECPS. Dr. Bryan.
This is the resolution, you had the presentation at the last meeting regarding My Future NC and educational attainment, credential certifications, goals of 2030 for the state, and what My Future NC is supporting. Certainly something we've talked a great deal about here in Edgecombe County Public Schools, and the resolution to support those goals for My Future NC. A lot of things we're already doing and things we're looking to improve and enhance. And I think when the board signs off on a resolution like that, it sends an important message for everyone, not just for the state, but for Edgecombe County Public Schools.
Questions, comments? If not, may I hear a motion to approve the resolution?
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the resolution between My Future NC and Edgecombe County Public Schools.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the resolution between My Future NC and ECPS. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Approval of the resolution. 8.3.D, approval of services provided by Brady Train as a sole source item. Dr. Bryan.
So in an effort to support many of the new items we've received from ESSER funding, new chillers, particularly in this case, trying to do some preventative maintenance to support the interiors and systems that those new chillers are supporting. And we are able to basically provide this sole source service because of Brady has signed up on regulations regarding that with some companies that we use. So we're going to try this out to look at three different schools that have gotten new chillers in the past year, and hope to avoid any concerns with maintenance issues regarding that. So we're looking at approval for that. And if we see that this works well, then we can look to expand that maybe to some other schools as we get this.
Questions, comments?
And Dr. Bryan, can I request that this be approved subject to final review of contract terms by the board attorney?
I should have said that. My apologies.
I will say that a lot of the problems we were having earlier on with the HVAC system was because of maintenance, not being properly maintained over a period of time.
One thing, I know this would tie in not only with HVAC but with boiler units as well. And when we were working through some of the issues we had Southwest Edgecombe late in the year, trying to be proactive on rescue. Hope that will help us as we move forward.
Any other comments? Discussion? If not, can I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the service provided by Brady Train as a sole source to provide scheduled maintenance services for South Edgecombe, Middle, Tarboro High, and North Edgecombe using ESSER fund, the local funds in the amount of $34,704.
With final review.
With final review of the contract.
Second.
Okay, we've had a motion and a second to approve the services provided by Brady Train as a sole source to provide scheduled maintenance services, inspect and maintain HVAC equipment at South, Tarboro, and North Edgecombe High School using local funds for the amount of $34,704 for 3 years, pending review and approval by the board attorney. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion approved. 8.4.B, approval of the Avid Center, Ms. Pierce.
Before she steps to the mic, just for everybody's attendance, we amended this item as well to be for the 23-24 school year, not 24-25, even though it extends into that year. Just want to make sure everybody was aware.
Good evening, Vice Chair, Mr. Ellis, Board Member, Superintendent Dr. Bryan. I come before you this evening to request the approval of sole source approval for Avid. Earlier this summer, the board approved for us to, as a sole source, to send staff from each of our 5 feeder schools, Principal Elementary, Patillo, Middle School, Stocks Elementary, Tarver High School, and Edge Early College. They sent a staff to be trained in Avid this past summer. As part of Avid implementation, there is a cost that is required for the first year of guidance of implementation, as well as access to the library. And the total cost for this exceeds our required $10,000 threshold for competitive bidding. We are requesting the approval for the sole source because this company is the only company that provides the Avid membership, the Avid resources and libraries, and to continue that continuity of services and ensure implementation in those schools, we would need that sole source approval.
Any questions for Ms. Pierce? Discussion? If not, can I hear a motion to approve 8.4.b?
Mr. Vice Chair, I move for the approval of 8.4.b, of Avid Center as a sole source for Avid implementation for the 23-24 school year. Amount of $37,536.26.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Avid Center as sole source for Avid implementation for the 23-24 school year in the amount of $37,536.26 using PRC 181 ESSER 3 funds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The Avid Center is approved. Ms. Pierce, you're still up 8.5.b.
The next request is for the board to approve the services of Conscious Discipline Institute for Martin Millennium Academy. As you probably remember last year, Martin Millennium also received sole source approval to send staff to the Institute. During the school year, the school has implemented Conscious Discipline, and so they're requesting to send 10 additional staff members, and the cost of that, of these services for those 10 for that institute is above the $10,000 threshold for our district. We're requiring sole source as a way, one, Conscious Discipline is the only company that provides the training, and to ensure that we have continuity in services at MMA next year so that they can continue implementing Conscious Discipline practices and strategies to address social emotional learning with students in the school.
I just got a question as far as how they feel about the training and the implementation of it this year. Are they seeing some results or positive?
Right, great question. So we will, at the end of the year, each school, because they're using their Title I dollars, will actually do a full review of each of the strategies they're implementing. I can say I was at the school actually about 2 weeks ago in the classrooms, and I see the teachers had the posters posted. They have the strategies posted for students to use those strategies for conscious discipline. Earlier this year, administrators went so that they can support. Teachers are participating in school-based professional development. We haven't heard any negative feedback from staff, so staff are really involved in it. The 10 that they sent last year actually became a committee at the school, and they were vested in leading implementation school-wide this year amongst their peers. So we have not heard any negative response from it so far. So, but we'll be able to pull the data and see how does the data from last year in terms of student incidents, whether it's mental health supports that are needed, discipline, those types of things. We'll be able to pull that and see if we think that it may have had impact on those things this school year.
Is it something that other schools, if they are possibly interested in, that they can?
They absolutely can. This is a supplemental support. And part of the staff feedback is in their school improvement plan, and the staff have to approve that school improvement plan. But other schools can, and it's allowable to use. Many of our elementary schools are Title I schools. So if that's something they feel is a need for support, then they could absolutely work with their teams, see if that's a strategy their school needs to implement to address social emotional learning in their schools. Yes, sir.
Question?
Yes, one question. What is this, how many staff members will this entail being trained?
So 10 attended the Institute last year, the week-long summer Institute. They actually had, they contracted this year for their team from Conscious Discipline actually came this school year and trained all staff in a school-based, oh yes, so they're school-based stuff ongoing throughout the year. And then they want to send 10 more this year to it. And then 3 administrators and an MCL also went this year during the school year to look at the administrative side of how to support implementation of this with their staff in the building. So they've got a vested interest in professional development and growing and ensuring they have fidelity with implementation.
And I assume that since the administrators and they've all been trained, any new people who come back, they can turnkey their training.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's part of our goal is to develop a team that can lead the implementation year 2, year 3, year 4. Yes, sir.
Any other questions or discussion? Can I hear a motion to approve the Conscious Discipline Institute?
Mr. Chair, I recommend we approve the Conscious Discipline Institute as a sole source to provide professional development in the areas of social, emotional, and learning to support teachers and classroom conducive to learning and strong instructional delivery entering phase 2 of implementation for Modern Millennium Academy using PRC 050 Title I funds in the amount of $18,499.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Conscious Discipline Institute as a sole source to provide professional development in areas of social and emotional learning, to support teachers in classrooms, conducive to learning and strong instructional delivery for Martin Millennium Academy. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you for approving it.
Thank you.
Okay, 8.6, point B, approval of purchase of equipment and services. Mr. Hayes.
Good evening, Vice Chair, Board members, Superintendent Dr. Bryan. Tonight, I'm requesting board approval to purchase equipment and services eligible for the USAC Category 2 E-rate program. These are for North Edgecombe High School and to award the bid to Encore in the amount of $140,681.94. Equipment includes switches and accessories for North Edgecombe High School. These funds were awarded through the Universal Service Administrative Company, or USAC, as I said before, for equipment and services. This is Category 2 of E-rate program. 85% of the cost will be covered by the E-rate program, and that breaks down to roughly $579.65. The remaining 15% of cost, which is $21,102.29, will be paid from state technology funds. This was posted as a formal bid, and you see all the responses to that formal bid request there. It was on a rubric as far as scoring, and Encore had the lowest price for the services that we were requesting.
Any questions from Mr. Hayes? Any discussion? Okay, I hear a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of equipment and services eligible for the USAC Category 2 E-rate program for North Edgecombe High School and to award the bid to Encore in the amount of $140,681.94.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of equipment and services eligible for the USAC for Category 2 E-rate program for North Edgecombe High School. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, 8.6, point B is approved. Next, 8.7, point B, approval of 23-24 summer programming plan. Mr. Holland.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chair, Superintendent Dr. Bryan, and members of the board. I'm here with you tonight to request board approval of our 2023-2024 summer program plan, which does include the remediation and retesting plan. The summer programming plan provides our district and its schools the ability to provide remediation and enrichment opportunities for students in grades 3 through 12 in the areas of reading, math, and in science. Each PSU's Board of Education must approve their district's participation in the summer program plan for remediation and retesting. Students that performed at a not proficient level on the EOC or the EOG during the 23-24 school year will be eligible to participate in summer remediation and retesting following the end of the regular school year. Students must actually attend the remediation sessions in order to retest. Improved proficiency results on these assessments are used in the achievement scores of the schools for their school performance grade. That's the 80% of the grade, but not included in the school growth status, the 20% of the grade. Transportation and lunch for these students will be provided. And as part of our summer program plan, you'll notice in your different board documentation, you'll see the actual summer program plan which needs to be signed off by the chair and Superintendent Bryan, which that is the primary portion of what I'm talking to you about tonight, which is the actual remediation and retesting portion of the plan. We've had success doing this with our students. Last year in 4th through 8th grade ELA, we had 64 more students pass as part of the remediation and retesting. We had 89 more students in 3rd through 8th grade math pass as a part of that remediation and retesting. We had 35 students in 5th and 8th grade science pass last year during that remediation cycle, and an additional 10 scholars in our high schools passed EOCs as a part of this remediation and retesting cycle. So that is the summer remediation and retesting program. On the next slide, you'll see what our plan is for this year. We're actually going to do instructional remediation days there on June 10th, 11th, and 12th. Each one of those days there will be 4.5 hours of remediation or instruction provided to students, and then they will be allowed to test on the 13th and the 14th of June in those areas. We may have a child or two that would be in need of remediation in the elementary range or the middle range in 3 assessments. For example, if they were to not pass or be proficient in science as well as reading and math in 5th or 8th grade, they would be eligible to retake all 3 of those if they participated in remediation, and in that case we would need to test those students a day earlier on the 12th, just so that they don't take more than one of those assessments on a day. The hours of operation for that camp would be from 8:30 to 1:30 would be the student hours, and our staff would be from 8 to 2 on those days. Now that is the part of the plan that you're actually voting on, but as typically when we do this, I also go through the other types of camps that we are offering in the summer to give you the overview of what other things we're going to be participating in. The Read to Achieve camp for 2nd and 3rd grade students is one of the big ones that we are required to offer each year. And so the Read to Achieve camp is provided to 2nd and 3rd grade students who have not demonstrated proficiency during the school year in the area of reading. Proficiency is based on state assessments such as the BOG3, which is their beginning of grade test that they take, the Reading EOG, or in-class assessments that they take throughout the year. Each district is required to provide this opportunity for RTA camp for 2nd and 3rd grade students who have not demonstrated proficiency during the year. The Read to Achieve camp will provide literacy-rich instruction for students over the summer, giving them opportunities to continue to grow in their reading ability. It will also reduce the risk of the summer slide in reading due to the lack of exposure or instruction during those times. Students are provided additional opportunities to continue to reach proficiency through in-class camp assessments, continued work on their 3rd grade reading portfolios, or by passing the Read to Achieve assessment at the end of camp. And for the Read to Achieve camp, you'll see behind you there and in your board documentation that the camp will actually be in the month of July. It is scheduled from July 10th to July 30th. Those will be the student days. 3rd grade students that need to take the Read to Achieve test as part of that opportunity will test on July the 31st. The camp schedule will be a Monday through Thursday schedule. Our open house would be scheduled on July the 9th from 4 to 6:30 for the families of those participating in RTA. The student hours will be pretty much a traditional day, 8 to 3 during the camp month of July, and the teacher hours would be from 7:30 to 3:30. We would have one additional day on July 8th where teachers would be getting trained in the different curriculum resources that they would be using during camp. The locations for these camp are also there listed. MMA, Princeville, and Stocks. We don't know yet whether Stocks or Princeville will host it, but they will hold the camp for those 3 schools in the city. Bullock and Carver sites will be combined. That will be held at Carver. Coker-Wimberley, based on location, will be its own individual site. And then this will be the actual first opportunity to work with those students that will be coming and being part of the merger. We will actually be holding the summer reading camps for the Read to Achieve camps for those students that are at Fairview, Baskerville, or Johnson. So those students that would have to participate in those areas, they would be under us. It'd be the first time that we will be doing that. We have not completely determined which site for Rocky Mount we will use yet. We're still working through that part, but we will choose one of the either Baskerville or Fairview or Johnson for that site to be that's going to be held. So that's the RTA camp. The other opportunities for some summer enrichment that we do have are, but what's behind you on the board, these are all pending. All the plans for these have not been finalized yet, but we are working and planning on working through that. You're going to see there the potential high school summer bridge week. All of the different high schools are planning to do that in the month of July and are currently working to get that scheduled. You see the Exceptional Children LI camp. That's for our classrooms of students in our low incidence classrooms. We are going to offer a camp for those students again this year to participate in. That is under Ms. Sykes. Of course, we'll be heading that up. And any of the students that are currently enrolled in those classrooms, she will work with those families to talk to them about the requirements and work through that. And at the top, you see that there is the opportunity. We're still working through this. We don't know exactly that it will look like it did last year. But preliminarily, we had targeted August 5th through 8th for our Jumpstart camp. But again, that is still pending as we've got some feedback about the way the camps were ran last year, and we're trying to make sure we get back with the principals to make sure that we do what is going to be in the best interest of the students that are participating in those programs. So that may change, but the others are pretty much set in the time frames that they are going to be using this year. So at this time, I'll be happy to answer any questions about any of those camps, particularly the RTA camp or the summer remediation and retesting.
I have just a question. I know Dr. Batts and I talked last year about the essay writing camp, and you held something.
Yes, ma'am. Our high school MCL, English MCL, Cassandra Gonder, she's holding them throughout the school year during their power sessions. Yep, and she's working with students right now on essays for scholarships and for our college applications.
Okay, so that was not a summer camp. I was, okay.
School.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Joe's going to update, there's one additional camp that's not on that list that he's going to update you that we're doing in June as well. It missed the list.
Yeah, so we also have a camp that we're going to offer to middle school and high school students. It will be 24 middle school students and 24 high school students, and it's through District C, which we currently have now with some of our students completing. But during this camp, these 48 students will be working with District C and hopefully a local business partner. We want to keep it local, where they will try to, it's like project-based learning, so they're going to work as a team to try to develop a product for that business. So it's a business need. The business will identify this is what we need. This core set of students will develop a presentation for that need, present back to the business and get feedback on their presentation and their ideas they came up with to help this local business out. This will be held, it's a 7-day camp. The dates escape me, but it's the Monday through the Friday and Monday and Tuesday the following week as soon as students are let out of school. And that's a District C camp. And we hope to pay students stipends for their work. Since they are working with local businesses, they will get paid for their hours they spend working in the camp.
Mr. Holland, I think.
Yeah, Mr. Holland, two things. in the successful retakes, we get credit what is proficiency and not growth.
That's right. So the proficiency will count. So if the student wasn't proficient before, they become proficient as a part of taking that, that will factor into the school's performance grade for the 80%, the bigger part of that weight. The original score of the student is still used in the calculations for growth, only really because all that information is sent to SAS and EVOS ahead of all of this taking place, and they don't have them bring it back to just alter it for the students to actually choose to remediate.
Question two, if you will. We cannot require.
Absolutely not.
Now, but is there something that we have to reach back out to those parents whose kids need to be there?
So right, we talked to this really with the principals in terms of their ability to recruit, because really this is completely voluntary based, right? So we can't require that a student participate. We can't use the fact that the performance of the students changing would be factored into grades or impact promotion or retention or any of those types of status for this. This is more so just about, one, giving the students the confidence that you can get over the hump and you can be proficient in this assessment. And then obviously from a standard of the school, the ability to be able to increase proficiency rates and show that in our performance grades is obviously important to us, and we want our schools to show. Typically, principals are very strategic in trying to recruit and get as many students as possible to come back, particularly students that they know based on the results that they get back were within several points that are close enough in range to give them that confidence boost with a couple days of remediation to get over that hump.
Any other questions for Mr. Holland? If not, may I have a motion to approve the 23-24 summer programming plan, including summer remediation and testing plan?
Mr. Chair, I recommend approval of 2023-2024 summer programming plan, including the summer remediation and test plan.
We have a motion and a second to approve the summer programming plan, including the remediation and testing plan. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Approval of the program. Thank you, Mr. Holland. Good job. 8.8B, approval of the budget resolution for 23-24. Ms. Howard.
Good evening, Vice Chair, Superintendent, board members. I come to you today respectfully with our original budget for the state was presented in the December 11th, 2023 board meeting, and now I'm bringing in front of you the local current expense, capital outlay, and school food service fund for approval.
Questions as you're looking through it? Anything of note, Ms. Howard, that we need to focus on?
Not in this one, but in the next one, there are some things I'll draw your attention to.
Any questions? If not, can I hear a motion for the approval of the budget resolution for fiscal year 23-24?
I make a motion to approve the budget resolution for fiscal year 2023-2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the budget resolution. All in favor, would sign aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. 8.8.B is approved. 8.9B, approval of the budget adjustment number 1.
Okay. I would like to bring to your attention in the budget amendment, this is for state public funds and for the federal grant. So with the federal grant that isn't part of the original budget resolution, since it comes down from the federal government, we just vote and approve on it for our use. With the state public funds, I do want to draw your attention to, this is for a little over $3 million. Some of the changes have to do with change in ABM and NCDPI program realignments. With some of those, you'll notice that there are some net changes, meaning that based on some of the changes they made to some of the programs, they removed it from one program, PRC, into another. So they kind of net out. Some of the increases that I do want to draw to your attention are not limited to the advanced teaching roles, the funding for Edge Academy, increases to textbook and digital learning incentives, and literacy intervention. So I do come to you for approval of Budget Amendment 1.
Any questions in this house? Discussion? If not, can I hear a motion to approve the budget adjustment number 1?
I make a motion to approve budget adjustment number 1 fiscal year 2023-2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of budget adjustment number 1 for 23-24. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. 8.9.B, approved. Thank you, Ms. Howard.
Thank you for your support.
8.10.B, Ms. Swanson.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Vice Chair, Board members, and Superintendent Dr. Bryan. So I am here to request board approval to adjust the current Opportunity Culture Career Ladder, which is in effect until the end of the 23-24 school year, to reflect an increase in the salary differential for teacher leaders serving in multi-classroom leader 2 roles. And just a little backstory on this. So as Ms. Howell just shared, so funding has been provided in the state budget to pay salary differentials for select advanced teaching role teachers, which in the district we call Opportunity Culture teachers. So per GS 115C-312, in order to leverage this state funding, advanced teaching role units like Edgecombe, who employ adult leadership teachers, or MCLs, that serve between 3 and 8 teachers, must provide salary supplements of at least $10,000 for those teachers. This funding policy has recently been clarified and shared with districts. Funds have been allocated to ECPS from NCDPI to pay the salary differentials from multi-classroom leader 2s for multi-classroom leader 2s at the $10,000 rate. The current rate per our Opportunity Culture Career Ladder is $9,000. So this change would increase the salary differential for teacher leaders serving in the MCL2 role by $1,000 for the 23-24 school year. By approving this increase, this allows ECPS to use the state fund source for these differentials, freeing up federal dollars for schools to reallocate for other purposes. So the recommendation tonight is to approve the adjustment for the salary differential from multi-classroom leader 2s from $9,000 to $10,000 for the 23-24 school year.
Questions? No questions. Can I hear a motion for the approval of the adjustment of the salary differential for teacher leaders, multi-classroom leader 2 from $9,000 to $10,000?
Mr. Vice Chair, I move for the approval of 8.10.B, the approval of adjustment to the salary differential for teacher leaders serving as a multi-classroom teacher as presented in this request.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the salary adjustment. Are there any other questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. 8.10.B is approved. Ms. Swanson, you're still up.
Yes, sir. Thank you all. So my second request here relates to that same general statute. So that's GS 115C-312. So I'm here to request board approval of a minor revision to the new Opportunity Culture Advanced Teaching Roles Career Ladder and Stipends, which was approved at our last board meeting on February 12th. The requested revision is small, so the request is to change the MCL1 position so that by definition they lead 2 teachers instead of 2 to 3 teachers, and then the MCL2 would lead 3 to 5 teachers instead of 4 to 5. So with this revision, the ECPS career ladder will more closely align with the state of North Carolina's current definition of an adult leadership teacher, which again requires that these teacher leaders support at least 3 teachers and make a salary differential of at least $10,000. So you can see the revised career ladder in your board book, just that small adjustment for the multi-classroom classroom leader 1 and 2. The stipends all remain the same.
Any questions, Ms. Watson? If not, may I have a motion to approve the revision?
Make a motion for the approval of the revision to the Opportunity Cultural Advanced Teacher Roles, Career Ladder, and stipends to go into effect in the 2024-25 school year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the revision to the Opportunity Culture Advanced Teacher Roles, Career Ladder, and stipends to go into effect during the 24-25 school year. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Approval. Great.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Swanson. 8.12, approval of 24-25 calendar. Ms. Hope.
Greetings once again. I hope you've all had a chance to look at the proposed calendar for traditional schools for next school year. This calendar was developed by our calendar committee, which was composed of several members of our central office team, as well as our current principal of the year and teacher of the year. We did send the calendar out for feedback to staff members, to parents in the community. For the most part, majority of our respondents did agree with the calendar we had presented. We did have some comments around 3 different areas. One group of respondents requested an earlier start date for kids to go back to school. Of course, you know, we are bound by the North Carolina calendar law. We did have some energy around more early release dates, or we didn't include the early release days, but some staff members wanted to see those days. As a group, we decided that historically, early release days are not well attended by our students. Instead, we chose to include an extra optional teacher workday in both semesters instead of early release days. And then finally, there was a lot of comments about staff members wanting 2 full weeks at winter break, and fortunately we were able to tweak the calendar a little bit and make that request possible, and you'll see that reflected in the calendar that is in your board book. And that is pretty much the same calendar that we always have, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
We have to coincide with Nash County.
So, yeah, I didn't mention that. We did, as best as we could, just try to match up the calendar. We do have the same winter break and the same spring break, same start date as the Nash calendar. The teacher work days are a little different, but the major breaks are the same. That's a great question. Thank you.
Any other questions from Ms. Hope?
Just a comment, the early college camp calendar will be coming to the board in April.
Any more questions? Can I have?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Wright. One more thing I forgot to mention. You'll notice the graduation looks a little different. You'll notice we have the 3, instead of having a Saturday graduation, we have 3 graduations on that Friday instead of having graduation on Saturday morning. That was based on some feedback we had received too.
Any other questions or comments? If not, can I hear a motion to approve the 24-25 traditional school calendars?
I make a motion that we approve the 2024-25 calendars for the 3 Edgecombe County Public School traditional schools. I don't know why I said 3. I was saying 3 high schools.
Second. We have a motion and a second for the approval of the 24-25 calendar for the traditional schools. Or any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Calendar, traditional school calendars are approved. Thank you. This time, I'd like to ask Reverend Privet if he would take us into closed session.
Yes, sir. I make a motion, Mr. Vice Chair, under the North Carolina Open Meetings Law, Section 143-318.11A1, A3, and A6, to go into closed session to consider personnel matters, to consult with the attorney to preserve attorney-client privilege information, and to prevent disclosure of student records rendered confidential under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 U.S.C. 123(2)G, and the disclosure of the personnel records rendered confidential under GS 115C-319 through 321.
Second. We have a motion and a second to go into closed session. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We'll take about 5 minutes. Okay, green light's on. If there's no questions about the personnel management, can I have a motion to approve the listed personnel?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the listed personnel as discussed in closed session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 10.1, 10.1.1, the listed personnel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, personnel management is approved. Need a motion to approve the 10.1.2 extracurricular activities.
Make a motion to approve our extracurricular activities, spring sports.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the 10.1.2 extracurricular activities. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That's approved. 10.2, closed session minutes. Are there any questions about the minutes? Any discussion? If not, can I hear a motion to approve the February 12th closed minutes?
Mr. Chair, I recommend we approve the closed session minutes.
We have a motion and a second to approve the February 12th, 2024 closed session minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Closed session minutes are approved. Number 11, anybody have any board correspondence? Number 12, any items that we need to bring up? Board member, Lord Dr. Bryan. For the good of the cause. Last chance. If not, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Stay around. I appreciate y'all's patience with a rookie tonight. Thank you.